Ayes 34, noes 0. The resolution is passed. Returning now to privileges of the floor. Senator Jackson, would you
Thank you, Madam President.
Yes.
I would like to ask the volunteers who are going to be, who are volunteering their time and services today on these screenings to please stand. I'd like to recognize them. Cecilia Guerrero, Lauren Meeks Harris, Arena Krachenia. They're volunteers with the American Heart Association, along with Courtney Wilson from Sutter Heart and Vascular Institute. Thank you for your hard work and dedication working toward the prevention of heart disease and awareness of heart health. Thank you all. If you join me in thanking them as well.
Thank you. Are there any other privileges of the floor, members? Seeing and hearing none. Are there any further motions or resolutions? Adjourn in memories. Senator Mitchell.
Thank you very much, Madam President. I stand today as a girl golfer in recognition of the passing of Charlie Sifford, the first African-American member to play in the PGA. Mr. Sifford died this week at the age of 92. The president of the PGA of America, Derek Sprague, called Sifford, quote, an uncommon and faithful servant. His love of golf, despite many barriers in his path, strengthened him as he became a beacon for diversity in the game. By his courage, Dr. Sifford inspired others to follow their dreams. Golf was fortunate to have had an exceptional American in our midst. Sifford challenged the Caucasian-only clause, and the PGA rescinded it in 1961. He later won the Greater Hartford Open in '67 and the Los Angeles Open in 1969. He also won the 1975 Senior PGA Championship 5 years before the Champions Tour was created. His career was fully recognized in 2004 when he became the first Black inducted into the World Golf Hall of Fame. Last November, President Obama presented him with the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Jack Nicklaus and Arnold Palmer are the only other golfers to have received that honor. Charlie won tournaments, but more important, he broke a barrier, Nicklaus once said. I think what Charlie Sifford has brought to his game has been monumental. The one goal that eluded him was a chance to play in the Masters, which did not invite its first Black player until Lee Elder in 1975. Sifford remained bitter, although the pain was eased when Tiger Woods won the first of his 4 green jackets in 1997, and Mr. Sifford was there. Sifford was born on June 22, 1922 in Charlotte, North Carolina. He worked as a caddy and dominated the all-Black United Golfers Association, winning 5 straight national titles. During the 1952 Phoenix Open, one of the few events that Blacks could play, he found unmentionables in the cup when he got to the first green. He received death threats over the phone at the 1961 Greater Greensboro Open and heard racial slurs as he walked the fairways. He finished 4th and didn't quit. During his induction ceremony, Sifford told of his first meeting with Palmer. They were playing in the 1955 Canadian Open, and Sifford opened with a 63 to lead Palmer by 1 shot. He recalled Palmer standing in front of the scoreboard saying, Charlie Sifford, how the hell did he shoot a 63? Quote, I'm standing right behind him, Sifford said. I said the same damn way you shot 64. That's how we met. He was given an honorary degree from the University of St. Andrews in Scotland for his career as a pioneer. I had the opportunity to both meet him as a young girl playing golf with my dad at the Chester, Washington golf course in South Los Angeles. He was when I got my first apartment right out of college, he actually ended up being my landlord. He owned the apartment building. But beyond the personal connection, just recognizing what he did as an athlete, as a gentleman, in breaking through the color barrier in the Professional Golf Association. And so I ask that we adjourn today in honor of Charlie Sifford, who died at 92.
Thank you, and please give the family his condolences, and thank you for bringing this item forward. Is there any other adjourn in memories? Back to privileges of the floor. Senator Huff.
Yes, upon adjournment, well, adjournment's the wrong term. When we leave here, Republican caucus in the Cox Lounge.
Thank you. Any further adjourned memories or business from members? Seeing and hearing none, if there's no other business, Senator De Leon, the desk is clear.
Thank you, Madam President. We actually have a couple more items we want to go through today. Very quickly, colleagues, today we recognize 5 great California leaders that are being honored by the James Irvine Foundation for their innovative and groundbreaking solutions to some of our state's critical challenges. Each year, the James Irvine Foundation receives hundreds of nominations and selects just a handful of individuals for this very great honor. These awardees are leaders in their communities and their work is demonstrably bettering the lives of people throughout the great state of California. We have a few colleagues here today on the floor who will be introducing some of these great recognized leaders by the James Irvine Foundation. I have the honor and pleasure to introduce one today, and that is Sandra Gutierrez from Abriendo Puertas. I'm presenting a resolution to Sandra Gutierrez, founder and national director of Abriendo Puertas Opening Doors, which is located in my district. We know that opportunity gaps, especially for children from low-income communities, African Americans, Latinos, poor white communities throughout the state of California, can be adversely affected. And their children's learning, obviously, is impacted well before they enter kindergarten. And that only increases over a course of time. Ms. Gutierrez's organization is tackling this challenge head-on, helping to prepare low-income Latino parents to be their children's first teachers and advocates. Evidence has shown that Abriendo Puertas has had a significant impact on parental involvement in early education with a curriculum developed by and for parents that gives them the tools, the necessary tools to better prepare their children for school. It is my great honor, colleagues, to recognize Sandra Gutierrez today and congratulate her for receiving the James Irvine Foundation Leadership Award. Congratulations.
Senator Leno.
Thank you, Madam President. The James Irvine Foundation Leadership Awards wouldn't be complete, of course, without San Francisco recognition. As we know, the good news is the economy is reviving and our unemployment rate is dropping. But this rising tide, unfortunately, is not lifting all boats. And our next awardees recognize that by helping small businesses, we can recognize a key to make sure that low-income communities that have not benefited from the economic recovery and those who are still unemployed or underemployed can benefit. Bill Pace and Beth Searle of Pacific Community Ventures, based in San Francisco, are offering the 2 things that small businesses struggle with: access to capital and professional expertise in how to expand their businesses. And that's what Pacific Community Ventures does. They have, just in 2013 alone, worked with more than 250 small businesses in California. And through these loans of $50,000 to $200,000, oftentimes for those who can't access loans in more traditional ways, have generated more than $70 million in wages paid to residents of low-income communities. And with thriving local businesses, of course, these areas attract further investment, which creates what's known in economic terms as a virtuous circle upwards. And so we want to recognize the great work that both Bill and Beth are doing, and wish them continued success in all they're doing for entrepreneurs in California. Congratulations.
Senator McGuire.
Thank you so much, Madam President. Honored to be here today with Senator Lonnie Hancock as well. In 2013, The Economist magazine called California's prison realignment one of the greatest experiments in American incarceration policy. Today, as we continue to pursue ways to reduce our state prison population that are sensible and mindful of our commitment to public safety, improving our ability to rehabilitate and integrate individuals back into society is essential. We are honored to be able to recognize the executive director of the Prison University Project at San Quentin State Prison, Jody Lewin. Jody is demonstrating how quality education can be, and quite frankly, must be, part of the solution. She manages the only on-site program in the state prison system to confer college degrees. It offers both college preparatory and college credit classes to approximately 330 men every year, taught by over 100 volunteer instructors from local colleges and universities. And Jody's program is dramatically reducing the rates of recidivism for those enrolled. A 2012 study showed that those who completed their work through the Prison University Project were three times less likely to return to prison compared to inmates who left the state prison system in general. Jody is giving these men a second chance and equipping them with the tools they need to thrive and to re-enter mainstream and become productive members of our communities. And today, we recognize Jody for her amazing commitment, hard work, and achievements here in the great state of California. And it is now my honor to be able to introduce the chairwoman of the Senate's Public Safety Committee, Senator Hancock. Senator Hancock nominated Jody for this great achievement, and she is going to say a few words. Senator Hancock.
Thank you so much, Senator McGuire. I've had the privilege of visiting the Prison University Project. I have talked to the students there, to the teachers there, and to the prison guards that escort the men back and forth from the classes. I can tell you that every single category of person is inspired by this project. They support it, and they really love the woman who worked for over a decade to put it together and institutionalize it at this prison. It changes the culture of the prison, and it changes the lives, as you can see by the recidivism rate, of the men that go through the program. Just to note, as Senator McGuire said, there are over 300 students served every semester and every year by the project. There is a waiting list of about 400 who would like the opportunity. Imagine, members, what we would do with our prison overcrowding, with safer neighborhoods when people return, with greater public safety for everyone if we could replicate this in every prison in California. So it's my pleasure to honor the immense achievement of Jody Lewin from the Prison University.
Thank you for that tribute. Moving back. Yes, Senator Hancock?
Senator, I actually have the privilege now of introducing the next Irvine awardee.
Please
who
proceed.
Happens to be another woman pioneer. This one from Alameda County, our district attorney, Nancy O'Malley. As many of you know, there's an estimated 100,000 children who are victims of commercial sexual exploitation in this country every year. Nancy O'Malley determined to do something about it. She has done an array of efforts ranging from the Family Justice Center in Alameda County, where victims of domestic violence or sexual abuse or senior abuse, anything like that can come to one place to do everything from getting help from the district attorney's office to a place to stay, childcare, and psychological support services. It's an amazing place. She also began what is known as the HEAT Task Force, the Task Force Against Human Exploitation and Trafficking in Alameda County, which, because she's also sponsored a number of bills in this legislature that many of us have carried part of, has reframed child sexual exploitation from something that often took the victim to court and prosecuted the victim to realizing that these young people are victims, they need rehabilitative services, and that you go after the traffickers. And she has done that. And a 2012 report from the California Attorney General's office found that Alameda County leads the state in prosecuting human trafficking, handling 46% of all the cases in human trafficking in the state. Again, I ask you to think about what if we could replicate this and put an end to this really terrible crime against children. And Nancy is on her way to Sacramento as we speak, but on her behalf today to receive the award is Assistant District Attorney Jennifer Madden, who is also a leader in the fight against human trafficking. So Jennifer.
Thank you. Members, do we have any further motions or resolutions or privileges of the floor? Seeing none, we will return to motions and resolutions, and Senator De Leon.
Thank you very much, Madam President. Colleagues, we do have one last adjournment in memory before we adjourn our floor session and go back home to our districts. I rise to adjourn in the memory of a dean of Los Angeles journalism, a 30-year reporter with the Los Angeles Daily News, and that is Rick Orloff. Now, Rick passed away from complications from diabetes just this past Monday, February 2nd. Rick was a native of Chicago and moved with his family to Encino at the age of 12, and he graduated from Birmingham High School in the San Fernando Valley. He earned his bachelor's degree in journalism at Cal State University Northridge, the Matadors, and began working at the LA Daily News in the Valley in 1978. Rick just didn't cover City Hall politics, but he in fact became a fixture for all of Los Angeles. He held those in elected office accountable and also made friends with them along the way, never ceasing to demonstrate incredible strength of character, professionalism, and a true love of his craft and his community. Now, Rick was, for those who didn't know him, a tough reporter. He didn't suffer fools easily. Some had called him a curmudgeon, you know, at some sort at times. But I can tell you one thing right now. On the record, he was tough. Off the record, he was frank and he was blunt. But he was always a fair, tough reporter. That old school journalism that is sorely missed today. He was a tough person. And he treated folks tough. And it didn't make a difference if you were a powerful politician, city council member, county board supervisor, state senator, assembly member. Not mean-spirited, but tough. And he is from the old school of journalism. He was an amazing fixture in City Hall in downtown Los Angeles. Now, news coverage of government helps facilitate the conversation between policymakers and constituents. In that regard, Rick's work greatly enriched the city of Los Angeles to the great benefit of the people, of its people. Now, I understand that our good friend, the former Speaker, Herb Wesson, now Council President of the Los Angeles City Council, is going to name LA's City Hall's media room after Rick. and I think it is a fitting memorial to his contribution to our community. Now, Rick is survived by his sister Joanne, her husband, and 2 nieces and 1 nephew. He'll be sorely missed by his colleagues in the press corps and those who he covered in City Hall, and I'm sure by his readers. Quite frankly, he left us at a very, very young age, at the age of 65. Age of 65. That's an incredibly young age. And whether you're a Republican, a moderate or conservative, whether you're a progressive or a liberal Democrat or moderate Democrat, everyone universally harbored a tremendous amount of respect for this reporter and his type of journalism. Tough, frank, straightforward, honest. He will sorely be missed. He is a fixture in the city of Los Angeles, and may we rise in his memory.
Thank you for bringing this forward. Any other motions or resolutions? Seeing and hearing none. If there is no further business, Senator De Leon, the desk is clear.
Thank you, Madam President. Colleagues, I know everyone will return back to their districts. I hope you have a wonderful, safe travels back. Have a wonderful, productive weekend, and we will see each other Monday, 2 o'clock. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. The Senate will be in recess until 3:30, at which time the adjournment motion will be made. We will reconvene Monday at 2 p.m.